right, it is time for another episode of The Soul Finder. And Kathy, I'm just going to spring this topic on you. You are a spiritual healer?
Maybe.
Okay.
I claim to be.
Okay, you claim to be. Do you claim to be anything else?
Oh,
Any
lots
other
of
titles?
things.
Okay. We'll get into that. I want to give you a chance to jump on the dog pile and tell me I'm insensitive.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
Because I think you do a very good job, and I don't think I'm alone. I think that I represent a lot of people that kind of have the same attitude towards different things. And I've been told that I'm very insensitive this week.
Oh.
Because of my thoughts about a submersible.
Oh, well, let's hear this.
Have you kept up with the submersible story?
Barely.
Okay,
but
good.
Some.
Because people may be listening to this 10 years from now.
Right.
We're recording this on June 24th, 2023. For the past week, the big story has been that there was a submersible full of explorers.
Right.
They'd each paid $250,000.
I didn't know the amount. Okay.
Yeah, $250,000 to get in a submersible that's going to go to the bottom of the ocean, and they'll get to see the Titanic.
Right.
That sank in 1912.
Okay.
There's so many aspects to this story because what happened was within like 10 hours, the submersible lost communication contact.
Okay.
And and there was only like 3.5 days full of oxygen in the submersible. And so they knew that time was going to run out in finding them if they were findable.
Right.
So it consumed the news. It consumed people's conversations because there's so many different angles to it. Would you want to see the Titanic? Would you pay that kind of money to go on an extreme experience like that? The submersible was like the size of a minivan. Would you want to be stuck in a minivan with just lots of, and then you start talking about awful ways to die and thinking that you're going to suffocate in a submersible is just not really with 4 other people, not a fun way to die. So there's all sorts of angles to it.
Right.
My angle was this, and I've been told I'm really insensitive because of this. My angle from day one was not 1 cent should be spent trying to find these people. Not 1 minute of energy should be wasted on trying to rescue these people. Any money spent on trying to find these people and rescue them is money that could have been directed elsewhere for a lot more good than a mission that's going to fail.
Right.
Okay? Which I may need to backtrack a little bit. Even once they find the submersible, if it sank to the bottom of the ocean, they have to figure out a way to get it back to the top. And they had no plan for that. So step 1 is finding it, which is like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
Right.
Step 2 is, okay, you find it. First, you have to find it in time.
Right.
To save the people, because even if it didn't get crushed, they only have a certain amount of oxygen.
Right.
Step 3 is trying to figure out a way to get it back up, and they didn't have a plan for that.
Oh, if they found it and they were alive?
Yeah. So, from the minute I heard about the story, I'm thinking, no, you don't try and save these people. You don't waste your time and energy. And they spent time, energy, and money on trying to find these people. And it bugged the crap out of me. Even though the money's not coming out of my pocket, I don't know if U.S. tax dollars paid for it. And as we record this, I'm not sure where the money came from, but it was millions of dollars trying to find this thing. And my thought is, even if it came from one person, how many other people could have been helped with that, the money that was spent trying to find these 5 people that chose to do this, no, I'm sorry, not going to look for you. And I'm being told I'm insensitive because of that. Because of my thoughts.
Well, I would just say that you are judging another person's or people, their decisions. And it's really none of your business. As long as it's not money coming out of your pocket, you have no real business in what someone does with their money. It also sounds to me like that you're coming from a place of lack, saying that $250,000 that they each paid was a lot of money.
Wait, let's, I'm glad you said that. Let's clear this up.
Okay.
I don't care if they were the poorest of the poor that won these trips.
Uh-huh.
I don't care about the money that they spent on the trip.
Okay.
I know what you're saying, and a lot of people
went there.
That are that kind of have my attitude. Well, they're rich people. No, I don't care if they're rich. To me, they made the decision to get in a submersible that's going to go to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, and they knew the risk.
So let me ask you this question.
Okay.
Hypothetical. So you got to go with me. You got to go with me.
You're not going to believe my answer, but go.
Your little dog has gone on an expedition to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, and radio contact is lost. Are you going to try to see if you can find your dog?
Did my little dog make the decision?
I said we're hypothetical. Yes, your little dog did.
And knowing the risks?
Had to.
Okay. Yeah.
No?
I'm going to be sad. That dog's dead.
Okay. So you wouldn't...
If it's my mother, if it's my father, if it's my niece, if it's my nephew, it doesn't matter. Let me put it to you this way.
Oh, let's say that your dog didn't know the risk.
Then I got a problem with whoever put her on that submersible. But yes, if it was...
So that's different. So your whole deal is they knew the consequences.
Yes.
What about the part that I read just very briefly?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
About them knowing the submersible was not in good condition?
Oh my gosh, it's even worse.
Did all of them know that, or was that just inside information in the company?
Well, I'm assuming... No, there's some court cases. And I'm assuming that before you get on there, you've done your research. You know, these weren't stupid people.
Right.
And I'm sure part of the experience is knowing that you're taking a risk.
Oh, of course it is.
Let me try it this way. These extreme skiers.
Oh yeah. They're here, they're little daredevils here on Earth to play and to get the adrenaline rush.
To get caught in an avalanche. Sorry.
It's one of the you don't think you should try to rescue them?
No money. Now, if you're willing to put up the money ahead of time, maybe in a bank account or escrow or however, before you get in the helicopter and get dropped off at the top of the mountain, and you say, okay, this money is put aside for my rescue. Okay, yeah, you can spend that money because that's a decision you made.
Right.
But going back to another episode we recorded, if you decided to get dropped off the top of a mountain from a helicopter to ski down the mountain and you get caught in an avalanche, I'm not making that my problem. That's your problem.
So I'm trying to figure out what is the core. There's a core belief here, and that's where you're conflicting with your friends or whoever you're talking to, because the core belief in you is they made the decision knowing the consequences, therefore it's not our problem should one of those consequences occur.
Yes. Good job.
Other people are coming from the place of we have to try to save them.
Because they're humans.
we have to save them. That comes from some core belief somewhere that's in the collective consciousness that no matter what they did, because this applies all across the board, it seems like. There is this collective consciousness belief that we have to try to save someone that is in pain, hurting, lost, whatever.
Yes.
Where do you think that comes from?
I think it comes from taught human nature.
Well, that's probably true.
And that's kind of a oxymoron, taught human nature, but we're taught
many things. That's what the collective consciousness is all about, whatever belief system they hold. If I want to have a different belief system than the collective consciousness, I have to put in a whole lot of effort, because that energy coming from the collective is always there trying to persuade me to their belief. Because the more people you have that believes one thing, it has a greater influence. It has an energetic ability to influence people.
Let me try and prove my consistency here.
Okay.
I ride a motorcycle.
You still do?
No.
Okay.
I sold it, but I'm thinking about buying another one.
Okay. Good.
But if I'm riding that motorcycle 100 miles an hour on Central Expressway, and I die, it's on me. That's not on anyone else. That's a decision I made.
Well, what if you're not dead? What if you're there with a broken leg and a broken arm and cracked head?
Yeah.
What then? Are we supposed to leave you there?
No, you're not supposed to leave me there, but don't feel sorry for me.
Well, but are we supposed to try to rescue you?
Well, yeah.
And get you to the hospital?
Yeah, because I'm blocking traffic.
Oh, so they're at the bottom of the ocean, so they're not blocking anybody's traffic?
If they're at the bottom of the ocean...
We don't know if they're dead or alive.
Well, okay.
We lost radio contact.
That's really good. You're doing a good job here.
Okay.
But there is a difference.
How?
Is that my medical insurance, it kind of goes back to what I said about the skier, that if he's going to put his money in an account before he takes that trip, and says this is to cover any, but I'll let you tear me apart on this one. The equivalent would be, if I was an insurance company, medical insurance,
yes,
and I'm insuring a 45-year-old man that breaks a leg playing pickup basketball on the weekend, I don't think I should have to cover that. That's an unnecessary risk you just took. And
you know where that leads to.
Yeah. I would design a policy that covers unknowns. But if you're going to be a weekend warrior and do things that you probably shouldn't be doing, and that's kind of minor compared to.
Right, but it still goes to the same point.
But if I'm an insurance company and you break a leg jumping out of an airplane, I shouldn't have to cover that.
So maybe what you're requesting is some additional insurance for the adrenaline seekers.
Yes. And it's a fine line. It's a slippery slope.
And who's going to judge?
But, who knows? Maybe these adrenaline seekers in the submersible, maybe they did do that. Maybe. We don't know. We don't know why I don't know if they did that or not.
We don't know what they were exploring or maybe about to discover or find or develop.
They're going to discover a shipwreck.
You're judging.
That happened in 1912.
But they were doing research.
They weren't doing, what research were they doing?
How do you know? How do you know what they were doing?
I don't think they were doing research.
Do you think they were just going down there to... Had they all been down there before?
I don't think so.
Had any of them been down there?
I don't know. I don't think so, though. I could be wrong. Well, I think they're... Okay, and once again, it's a think. I'm saying think. They went down there, and I can understand it. because there's only like one window in the submersible too. So they went down there to be able to say,
I saw it.
I went down there and I saw it. I was there. And that's a whole other set of questions that I have. Is it's really even worth the trip? Even if you live, everything goes smoothly. Okay.
Well, they've done it. Lots of people have done it, though, right?
I don't know.
Well, they had. What I read was that they had these submersible vehicles that took you down there, and that talk was all about an inside company man saying this wasn't safe to go down in. They needed work on them. That's what I thought I read.
But even so, what's your point? Okay, let's say there's 1,000 people that have done it. Where are you going with it?
So that would mean that they had their own reasons. Are we to judge someone's reason for why they want to do something?
I don't even want to do that. Yeah, but go ahead.
What if one of these people on it didn't tell the others, but they felt a great connection to the Titanic? What if they lost a loved one in a past lifetime? What if they unconsciously didn't know what they were seeking, but they needed to go see it?
They got a couple movies and they got videos. I mean...
Oh, but you got to go to the spot.
You're
drawn to the spot. Have you ever been drawn to go somewhere?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, tell me about one.
That's fine.
Is it?
Wrigley Field.
I wonder why.
Because it's cool.
What do you think you might have been in a past lifetime?
Oh, I haven't really thought about that.
Uh-huh.
I just know it's a cool place.
Uh-huh.
I like it.
Uh-huh. You're drawn to it.
But if I knew, oh, this is bad.
Go ahead.
You're going to take me to a bad place here. You're going to take me to a real bad place where I know I'm wrong about this.
Oh.
And it's dark.
But you still feel it?
It's dark the way.
You still feel it?
It's not a feeling. It's just
a thought?
The way I
or belief.
The way I believe the world should be.
Okay.
There was a shooting in Allen at the Premium Outlet Mall, which has a Nike outlet store.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to tell you this.
Uh-huh.
If I wanted a pair of Nikes,
right,
and the only place I could find them was at that Nike outlet store in the mall,
right,
and God or Hurricane Katrina or some superpower came down to me and said, look, when you go buy those shoes, there's going to be a shooter in the mall that's going to take out 8 people.
Uh-huh.
I would look at that and have to make the decision.
Calculate.
Okay, there's going to be 2,000 people there.
Consequences, right?
8 people are going to die, but I really want these shoes.
Uh-huh.
And I may make the decision that my chances are pretty good not to die.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to go ahead and get those shoes.
Adrenaline rush?
No, I want the shoes.
Okay.
Even though I know
the consequences.
Yeah, there's a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Don't feel sorry for me that I died.
Uh-huh.
I made that decision.
Right.
Consciously.
Right.
That I'm going to do that.
Right.
Yesterday in Allen, there was about half an hour of bad weather. The sirens were going off outside.
I didn't know this.
It wasn't raining. I was outside with my dog with sirens going off.
Uh-huh.
I didn't go inside.
What was it for bad? How do you know what the siren's for?
Well, that's another issue. It's very they used to only do the sirens for like tornado warnings.
Okay.
But now they do it for high winds and severe thunderstorms.
So we don't have a extra special siren that says, hey, an atomic bomb's coming?
I hope that that's another there's another sound it makes. But no, I don't think we do.
It went off the other day, and I thought, what is this? And you never know if it's a test until after it's over.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
I think they should announce.
I think they test every Wednesday afternoon or something like that.
Who keeps up with that stuff? They should say this is a test before they start it.
But I made the conscious decision that, yeah, the sirens are going off. The weather does like it could get bad.
But I'm going on.
But, yeah, I can get in when I need to.
Mm-hmm. And?
But I knew that.
There was a risk.
Yeah.
And you were willing to, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But I'm also.
So, this is good.
Okay.
What if we had the insurance you alluded to earlier, and you had fell and broke your leg,
yep.
and the insurance company said, nope, not covering
That's
that.
kind of where I'm going.
Okay, keep going.
That I would not necessarily argue with the insurance company, even on my own policy, that, yeah, you know what, I was a jackass. Once again, if I go out and I play basketball today,
uh-huh,
and tear my ACL,
uh-huh,
my fault.
No, wait a minute. But you're taking away.
That's extreme, I know.
Yeah, because you're just playing basketball. That's not necessarily like being dropped on top of a mountain.
I'm a 54-year-old man that decided to go out there and.
Oh, but that's your belief system that you can't go play basketball.
Oh, I can. And I will. I just don't think.
And your insurance should cover you.
I should have to pay extra for that. I should have to pay extra for a policy that covers sports injuries for.
Over a certain age?
Yes.
I don't agree with that one. That one I have trouble with because that is
your
saying.
Next session, I'm bringing an insurance person in, and he's going to say, you know what, that's a damn good idea.
Of course they're going to say that. But what that does is that creates. That's the collective consciousness telling people you reach the age of 50 and you're not fit to go play basketball anymore. It's a great risk to your well-being, and we're not going to cover you.
No. Here's my thought on that, and we're getting into business now. But I do think that and this happens.
What?
A smoker has to pay more for insurance. Same principle. To me, it's the same exact principle. Is that, yeah, if you're a weekend warrior, I'm going to charge you more for your insurance coverage.
Weekend warrior is different than going and playing basketball.
Why?
In my opinion.
Oh, well, I call weekend.
We got different definitions.
Yeah,
and that's what this business is going to run into, is because everybody's going to have a different opinion on where the line is.
Yeah. And that's why it's a slippery slope. There's no doubt. But if I'm an insurance company, I'm going to create a policy that does not cover sports injuries. Now, if you want to get the policy that does, it's going to cost you a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that's unfair. Mm-hmm. I think they probably do this.
So are they going to lower the cost, or they're just going to start from the base where they're at and do it?
Yeah, they're going to start from the base.
Well, what have we gained?
But we don't gain. Look, we never gain anything, Kathy. If you don't understand that, we need to do an economics podcast.
Right.
And I can explain that to you. But, yeah, we're never going to gain anything. But I do think it is fair and this may be happening. I don't know if it is or not, but as someone who rides a motorcycle, I should have to pay more in insurance if I want to be covered than someone who doesn't ride a motorcycle.
And you're talking health insurance.
Yeah, I'm taking a bigger risk, and there's a better chance that I'm going to break a leg or be more injured on my motorcycle than you are going to be in your cage, in your car.
So what I hear is you're wanting a lot more laws and regulations and division of health insurance on people.
That's what you hear.
That's what I'm saying.
But the truth is, I just want common sense.
Yes.
I just want common sense.
Right.
To when it comes to
the guys choosing to dive
people
to the
that
bottom.
choose to really take these risks. And skydiving is acceptable or accepted now, but I'm sorry, if you injure yourself jumping out of a plane, that's on you. And that doesn't mean I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to go into it realizing, hey, part of the adrenaline rush.
Well, you signed the document that says that you don't hold them liable for anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Part of the adrenaline rush
is knowing that, hey, there's a chance that this isn't successful. I'm going to get injured.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's not part of the adrenaline rush, if you don't recognize that part, then you're kind of lying to yourself, as far as I'm concerned. Riding a roller coaster, there's an adrenaline rush.
Uh-huh.
You're not necessarily risking your life.
There's an adrenaline rush for some people, not all people.
Yeah.
So how are you going to... You're asking for something that you're wanting a lot more control from some insurance company.
Well, I probably shouldn't have brought the insurance company, because the insurance company, that was just kind of a method of communicating for me, saying, look, there are certain risks.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
hey. I think we're pretty much on the same page. I think what it is that we did uncover your core belief isn't what the collective's core belief is on the rescue mission, that we have to try to save somebody.
Yeah.
And I still haven't quite figured out where the core is for the collective on that. I see yours. I mean, I follow that.
Just think about where we're spending our money and who we're trying to save.
But money is no different than any other energy on this planet.
True.
Money is a flow in and out.
True.
And so therefore, when we judge things according to the money involved, we're losing track.
Well, with the way I understood what you just said, to me, the money is symbolic of the energy.
Okay.
But we can take money out of the issue.
Okay.
And I can just say this: any second wasted, any minute wasted on trying to rescue these people was a wasted minute.
Oh. Well, how can we know that? What if they found it, they were alive, they brought it back up, and the young boy that was on there developed something in the future that saved this planet?
This planet cannot be saved, first of all. Second of all,
well, then what are we all doing here?
I'll go where a lot of the news people have gone that are trying to politicize this.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with them, but I don't agree with the politics of it. Okay?
Which is?
At the same time that this submersible sank to the bottom of the Atlantic, it actually imploded.
It's what they think, yeah.
Yeah. There was a shipwreck where 75 people were known dead, and they were trying to find another 100 or so.
That might still be alive.
That may still be alive. Any time spent trying to save these submersible people could have been spent trying to save the people on that ship that sank.
Didn't they take a risk getting on that ship knowing it could have wrecked?
Actually, I hate this because when it takes to another, a lot of the people on that ship that wrecked were not on that ship necessarily by choice.
Oh.
Which leads to another discussion, another facet. They were migrants. They were.
Where was it that it sank? I think I read something about that, but I can't remember.
Yeah, and former President Obama had a big lecture to the media that the submersible got all sorts of coverage, but the other shipwreck didn't, because it shows that we only care about rich people, and that's just wrong to politicize it like that.
Oh.
At least 350 Pakistans were on board, migrants. Off the coast of the Greece, some seas off of Greece. And there's human smuggling going on there too.
Mm-hmm.
So it falls right in line with what I'm talking about is the time, and I do agree with former President Obama that
what the news focuses on.
Well, yeah, but I disagree, and this we'll get into this. This is what is killing race relations, socioeconomic relations in this country. There's enough real racism out there. There's enough real disparities between the rich and the poor that we don't have to make things up. Okay? We don't have to go out there and create issues. And what former President Obama did here is he created an issue when it wasn't really an issue. The fact of the matter is, and I agree that there is way too much in my head coverage of the submersible, but it wasn't because these people were rich. It was because there were so many interesting angles to the story and discussion points that people could make. It was such a more dramatic story.
It made them more money because the news could carry it. It had nothing to do
with how rich the 5 people were and how poor the migrants on the ship were. It had everything to do with the drama of the situation.
Right.
And would you want to die this way? Would you be willing to pay? So let's not invent, and that bugs the crap out of me about this country, this earth, this world right now. Is there enough problems out there that we don't need to invent them when they're not there?
Well, it's like they're all being stirred right now.
Yes.
There's an underlying current that is causing the disruption and causing people to get more angry. And it's like, that's what I feel. I feel there's this energetic force out there that is on purpose.
Yeah, it is on purpose.
Trying to aggravate these situations you just mentioned to create chaos and division.
Let's do another episode on that.
Okay.
All right, so we've solved my problem. I'm not insensitive.
That's right. Of course you're not.
CathyDCarter.com. Go check it out and find out all about Cathy and listen to some of the archived episodes that we have at that website. FreedomNation.com/Soulfinder is also another place where you can get all the archives. And there's a 24/7 audio stream that you can find at FreedomNation.com where, hey, if you just want to go to work and listen to Cathy all day long as you're entering your spreadsheets or your TPS reports, feel free to do that as well.
And that is Freedo, FRIEDO, Nation, NATION.com.
Thank you so much. Good job, Cathy.